Alright, for now this is where we left off. So we finished basically with the later end of the entire Haven area. And I think it's time we did some backtracking in the areas that we already almost fully completed. So specifically the Bonelands and the Depths.
What would you ask of this? Please take your time.
Alright. Let's start with the Bonelands because there's only one thing left to do here. So that should be very, very fast. Hello and welcome to the chat, Whimsy, and thank you for that comment. I have had people say that before, like that they start reading my Tumblr posts in their voice, in my voice, so I always find that very hilarious because I know my accent is all over the place. And hello, Boranar. Hope you're doing great as well. I'm doing fine. 1 week to go till Darksiders week. Oh my god, I'm stressed out, honestly. But the good kind of stressed out, so all is good, all is good. Alright, so here we are. We only have one thing left to do in the Bonelands. And hopefully we will not run into every single enemy again, because I do remember that we died shortly after defeating Lust. Okay, so we already cleared that out. Awesome. But of course these insect hives over here, they always respawn, no matter what you do. So we're going to get rid of these because they can be really annoying. There we go. That's all we want. And now we go to that ice wall over there. That's the only thing we couldn't do before. That's gonna give us an angelic artifact and one of our few chunks of adamantine. There's only 3 chunks of adamantine per playthrough. So, oh, you really want to get those. There we go. So, thank you for your artifact, Dead Angel Sir. And there we go. All the loading screens, Jesus Christ. Dum 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 dum. Alright. If you want to be merciful, you can put this poor sap into the acid so he doesn't hang there anymore. You don't have to, though. Alright, and now we get back to the serpent hole because that's all we can do here. And we're going to finish our last bit of backtracking in the hollows. Let's take a shortcut. Let's go back up here where we got the Mansk when we first came here. And especially on PS4, sometimes you have to wait for those little mini tornadoes to actually load. But they are there, no worries. Alright, I'm just wondering, did we actually talk to, yes, we did talk to Uziel afterwards. Okay, cool. I was like, did we already get the Fafnir enhancement or did we not? We want to go to the catacombs, yes. Hello, Satchayor. I'm doing alright, thanks for asking. Alright, but these guys respawned. Joy. So I'm just gonna take care of this guy real quick. My god, we are way overpowered for this area now. And you do definitely want to take care of this archer because he can really mess you up. We just need to get one tiny thing. Well, two tiny things actually. Most importantly, we want to get this enhancement over here, which is the Enoch enhancement. Now this thing is great from a gameplay perspective already because it gives you a faster Havoc generation, and in the beginning when it's not yet leveled up it doesn't give you all that much, so it doesn't seem all that worthwhile. But if you combine that thing with the panoply armor from the Crucible and with Obscurus, you can really gain a lot of Havoc in a very short time. Also, on a lore note, this enhancement, and we're going to see this when we get to Ulthane, was it basically has the soul of a creature that seems to have been one of the old ones. It's definitely one of the more interesting ones. I'll get to it once we actually get back to Ulthane, because that's when we will actually see what specifically this enhancement says to us. Now there's one more thing that we're going to check here, and that's the Blistering Bridge. Blistering Bridge. That is one hell of a name. And yeah, the one thing that's really important that we're going to have to get before we go to Keepers of the Void is the Shade enhancement. Because the Shade enhancement is it's going to give us extra arcane damage reduction, which we are really going to need, because all the enemies in Keepers of the Void do arcane damage. So if you go in there completely unprepared, they're going to destroy you. Now here, we're going to try to get into as few fights as possible, so we're going to try to avoid the big guy. Really don't want to have to fight him. Well, we are going to take care of the small ones. Come on. And we're just gonna grab that real quick. This is the Marauder enhancement. This will basically increase the rate at which you get specific items. So we'll increase the rate at which health shards and stuff like that drop. And then we're just gonna move on. Alright, let's just take care of this guy first before we do anything else. Perfect. And then as soon as we're done with this area, we are completely done with the hollows. And the only time we will have to come back here is when we actually talk to the Lord of Hollows to complete his side mission. Because remember, in the very beginning he asked us to kill Abraxas, and I have not forgotten about that. We are going to get to that probably next week, because this week we're going to have enough to do with Keepers of the Void. So, yeah. But next week we are going to get to that. Alright. Now there's two ways you can go here. You can either go up here. Which will lead you back into the Nether. Mind you, we don't actually have to go here because this would be the most economical way to go if you had not been defeated by the Harvester. Because then you would finally be able to access the maze that was near the, I think, access tunnel Serpent Hole. But since we let ourselves be defeated by the Harvester and we already explored that entire maze, we don't have to go there. And the other way you can go, because everything in this map is interconnected, you can get back to where we fought Wrath, and as you can see, Rampage's body is gone. So yeah, that was not a fake. Gluttony really did eat our horse, and I'm very sad. Alright, let's get back to the Serpent Hole, because there is only one place left to do in the Nether. And then I think we still have one or two things left to do in the depths, and then we can go for the shade enhancement. The place where we're definitely going to have to do the most backtracking is Haven.
What would you ask of?
Just because that was the earliest area where we didn't have any of our gadgets. So first we're going to go to... Let me see, we have the access way, the Tangled Grotto. We want to go to the cistern. Alright, now we're probably gonna have to fight a bunch of these enemies again. Yeah. Of course. Stupid mimic. I don't have time for you guys. Get out of my way, please. Alright. And the single one thing that we want to do here is just we want to get back over here. Hopefully not wake up every single mimic in this area. And just get behind this fourth rock thing. Alright, demonic artifact, very nice. Let's go back. Alright, you guys, you can keep digging, I don't mind you.
What would you ask of? Please take your time.
Alright, where are we going next? We are going back to the depths to get just a few very short things. Then to Haven, and then to the Keepers of the Void. Alright, number 1. And number 2. And now we can finally go back here and climb up this waterfall. Ah. Alright, so this is a area that we already saw through a gate when we left the depths. So we're not going to go through this gate, we're just going to open it in case we want to actually come back here. Instead, we're going to jump right back down here. And we're going to proceed a little further to where the sunken trains were. And what Bjornar mentioned in the chat, yes, there was a glitch in Keepers of the Void at first, because basically what happened was parts of the DLC, but only the very beginning of the DLC, was already available in a download from Sony before the actual DLC got published. So you could basically complete one wing, and then the second wing you just got stuck, and this could actually ruin your save. Like, you would actually have to start a new game plus in order to actually fix this, because there was no way to undo it on that specific save. The devs were aware of that. That was basically a fuck up on Sony's part. And yeah, there were a lot of people asking about that in the Discord at the time. Like, I remember a lot of people being very pissed off about it. Alright, now here we are at the last bit of backtracking for the Forgotten Lake, for the depths. And why am I having so much trouble climbing these walls today? Jesus. Oh, grab it. Come on. Alright, and now we climb that same wall again, because we're basically coming out right next to it. And we swing to the other side, and then we're done with the depths. So very little backtracking here, because we already had most of our hollows when we got here. Ow! Bad, Mimic, bad. Fuck off. I gotta say, I do like this human behind this force rock wall over there. She has a very nice voice. But how the fuck did she get in there? And how did you think this was a good idea?
What do you want?
Like, lady, how are you even still alive?
Safe?
Alright, and now to the backtracking in Haven, and then we can go to Keepers of the Void. We are not going to the Crucible yet, because the Crucible will not fully unlock until after we defeat Wrath. So there's no point in that just yet, but Keepers of the Void will keep us busy long enough.
Good eating.
Alright.
Please take your time.
Haven, and we start over at the West End. Hopefully I'll be able to get everything and not forget anything. The good news is backtracking through Haven is going to get us right back to Ulfane, where we can actually look at all the descriptions for all the enhancements that we got that have like little bits and blips of lore in it. That should be interesting. Alright, of course all the enemies have respawned since we had this glitch where we just couldn't move and dropped into the acid, so that's fun. And by fun it means utterly sucks. And the first thing we're going to do here is we're going to fight another one of the Chosen. So get rid of these guys, climb up here, and this is going to be, I think, almost the last Chosen. There's one more in the Scar, and then we have all of them. And normally Fury has a dialogue here, which didn't trigger right now. Or maybe I misremembered that because I don't always do them in the same order. Anyway, here he is. This guy is essentially a reskin Suffering, except his attacks can one-hit kill you. So be very, very careful, especially when he raises his fist up to do a single strike like this. Very, very dangerous. Like double-handed strikes, not so much, but the single-handed ones can and will one-hit kill you, especially on higher difficulties. So just be careful. Ow! Ow, ow, ow. Oh! Ooh, yikes. Alright, there we go, Essence of a Chosen.
I felt something this time. Behind the emptiness that cloaks them. A fire burns inside the Chosen.
Yes, mistress. The Chosen do burn.
Yeah, and spoilers, the thing that they are burning with is just sheer pure hatred. Which we're going to find out about once we actually fight the last one. But that's gonna be for next week. For now, we're just going over here. Getting all these items that we already saw in the very beginning of the game and just couldn't pick up at that point. Now we can actually go here. We could have backtracked to this place a little bit sooner, honestly, as soon as we had the Storm Hollow. But I prefer to do all of my backtracking in one go, rather than having to go 3 or 4 times. Now we're not going to go all the way through here because we would get into a loading screen, and we will be able to approach the upper side of this corridor just a little bit later anyway. So instead we're just gonna jump down here. Save ourselves a loading screen. And I think there is one more item that we can pick up. Oh no, we already got that one. Okay, neat. I like. Alright. Yeah, let's get rid of you again, just in case. There we go. Alright. And this is one area I really like to forget about, so glad I remembered it this time. This area has some of the sturdiest furniture in the entire apocalypse. Like, look at this. Like, we're wailing at this with massive weapons. You can even take a hammer to this desk. It's not gonna do anything. Like, normally the hammer can destroy pretty much anything, but man, those are some sturdy conference desks here. I'm impressed. And again, I do want to know what year this is playing in, because all of the desks have these terrible, terrible old-fashioned screens. Like, do actual offices even still use these? I haven't seen one of those in like at least 15 years probably. Anyway, this jump is really tricky, so hopefully we can do it without falling and having to go back. Yes. Awesome. Alright, on we go. Alright. Gotta go back for these guys. And we are almost done with the backtracking, actually. Getting relatively close to the end, just 2 areas left to go. Alright, and so here we are on the other side of that area where I said we're not going through because we're going to get a loading screen. This is basically the upper half of that building, so we just access it from this side, get this item, and move on. And now we get to the area where we can actually get the shade enhancement. Which again, if you're going to go for Keepers of the Void, is absolutely crucial. I'm going to ignore all of these enemies because they can't follow me anyway. So, who cares? And this enemy right here, this is one of 3 Taskmasters and one of the only 3 female demons we see in this game. So, sadly we didn't get to see much of her right now because we're basically just completely obliterated her, but she is a demon who can create kind of illusions of herself, shadow versions of herself, and you can get very quickly overwhelmed if she spawns multiple of those. So every time you see a taskmaster on the field, you really got to take care of her. And you got to do it fast, because otherwise you just end up fighting four of her. As for the question from the chat, like saying I don't always do things in the same order and do I spice it up for any particular reason? Not usually. Usually I do it either because I found a more effective route, or I forgot to do something else, or just pure convenience basically. But it's not like I have a specific plan as for why I do certain things. When it comes to streaming, sometimes I will do things in a certain order because it would be boring if I just had, like, say an entire stream where I just backtrack. So that's why I did some of the backtracking already last week. Or at least not some of the backtracking, but some of the optional stuff I already did last week, because I figured it would have been entirely boring if this entire stream was just me running around and gathering stuff. And I know we have already been running around for half an hour and gathering stuff. But I promise we're getting to the end of that. Gotta rescue another human.
Is it safe?
Alright, go. So somebody tried to barricade themselves here with furniture. Obviously didn't work, but I applaud the effort. And this area can be a bit crashy sometimes, so if the stream suddenly cuts out in a minute, that's because we crashed, and I will be right back. I hope it's not gonna happen this time, but I have crashed in this area multiple times before, so I will not be surprised if it happens. Alright, so this is the shade enhancement. This thing is super good. We're going to equip that right away. And I should spend my skill point actually. So where are we going to put this? Obscurus, yeah, let's put it on here. Actually, let's put Enoch on here. And let's put Shade on here. Let's put the purple with the purple. There we go. And I will get into all the lore descriptions for these once we get to Ulthane and we can actually see their upgraded versions. Now this I kind of like. There's a hilarious bit of dialogue from Fury here.
Now I understand why they all want wings so badly.
And it is never explained who they are, but considering that she says she spent pretty much all of her time alone since forever, I'd like to think that she's talking about the other Nephilim. And apparently quite a few of her people wanted wings. Well, Fury, you don't have wings, but you can fly, so... Or you can at least glide, so I think that's good enough for now. And you stop teleporting, please. Thank you. And yes, humans probably also wanted wings. I mean, who wouldn't want wings? Wings are pretty awesome, right? Ah, I hate this area so much. Because there is 3 of those invisible guys here. And that is exactly as much fun as it sounds like. Thankfully, they are all in different corners of the map, so you can take them out one by one, but it still sucks. And that comment from the chat about people who are afraid of heights not wanting wings makes me wonder, are there angels who are scared of heights? Like, is that a thing? Are there angelic kids who are just like, nope, 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 nope. I have wings, but I don't want, nope. Because that's gotta be embarrassing. Alright, here we go, and of course all these bastards are back. Fuck my life. Wow! Wow, seriously? Like, you could at least have let me grab the ledge? God damn you. Son of a bitch. Yeah, I'm not gonna bother with the knife thrower because we're gonna be out of here in 2 seconds, so who cares? Now, one more area left to explore, and then we can get to Keepers of the Void. And you can see this is getting very well populated. Like, here are all the survivors that we rescued. We can talk to pretty much almost all of them. There's like 2 or 3 that won't talk to you, but most of them you can actually...
Glad I'm not out there anymore.
Most of them you can talk to.
I would have died out there if it wasn't for you.
Oh, you're welcome. And every once in a while you can see one of them or 2 of them grab a nap.
Thank you.
Is probably the first thing I would do if I had just been rescued. Alright. Now we're about to get to the second spot in the game where you can hear the hum of an item, but you cannot actually pick it up. And it frustrates me to no end. And it's right over here. So in this area you can hear that there's supposed to be something, but there is no item there. It's probably glitched inside that tree trunk, inside that tree root. So I don't think we'll ever find out what that was. Oh, seriously? Fine.
This ends now.
And I know they just destroyed it, but apparently demons and angels, because these guys are corrupted angels, apparently demons and angels do need to eat, because these guys were having a nice barbecue going on here. Nice makeshift barbecue. Alright. Going further up, because that wasn't quite enough. My god, this building has many floors. Yeah, so I kind of picture that this is essentially what Nephilim cuisine was. Just take whatever you hunted and just throw it on a barbecue.
No more! No more! Please, save me!
Alright, so that is pretty much everything. So now we go back to Ulfane, and we upgrade some of our enhancements, and then we can go to Keepers of the Void. So the most important thing we're going to have to upgrade is Shade, followed by Obscurus, and then Enoch if we do have some artifacts left over, which we might not, because that's already a lot of upgrading that we're going to have to do. But we'll see. Come on, load faster. Thank you. Alright, let's go talk to Ulfane.
You're truly a marvel, lass. I cannot thank you enough. You may very well have saved humanity. As thanks, I can give you more power in that bauble.
I don't think you can repopulate humanity with only 20 people, but I appreciate the compliment.
A mighty hurt, are we? Oh, oh, what some of my best work. Didn't think it was possible, but now
Alright.
you're even deadlier.
First weapon up to level 10. For the Wicked Adamantine, we're gonna have to go into the Crucible or into New Game Plus. Because in New Game Plus you can actually buy them from Volgrim. Alright, let's see.
Didn't think it was possible. Didn't think it was possible. Oh, oh. What? Didn't think it was possible.
I want to upgrade my swords because I do actually use these on occasion.
Possible. Oh, oh. What? Oh, oh. What? Didn't think it was possible. But now you're even deadlier. Oh, oh. What beautiful. Didn't think it was possible. But interesting.
Alright, so that was a whole lot of weapon upgrading.
Let's see what I can do for you.
So here we go to the enhancements and to the lore blips in the enhancements that we got. So we have the unfocused Azazel, and as you can see, when it's unfocused it says, do you serve the Dark Prince? And then depending on where you go, if you go the angelic route, it says, perhaps I was a fool to follow him. Fallen I am called, a mockery of the light. It is time I seized my salvation. So this was apparently a fallen angel that this artifact belonged to, or whose soul is inside this enhancement basically. And if you go the demonic route, it will say, the Lord of Hell will be pleased to see you kneel. You and I both know the apocalypse will bring Hell's absolute victory. Welcome to the Dark Kingdom, sister. So, yeah. And if you go to balance, it will literally say, I walk my own path now, only I will rule my fate. So basically, screw you heaven and screw you hell, I'm going wherever I want to go. Which, you know, if you're already fallen, why still kiss heaven's ass? Like, but apparently, yeah, this was apparently the soul of a fallen angel. Now, on the other hand, we have Enoch. Long have I lived and so much have I seen. And this one, basically, it talks here of, I must heed my celestial charge. So, this was apparently, either it was an angel or at least it was a creature aligned with the light, whose soul ended up in the Enoch enhancement. And it says here, the Creator's words have been granted to me and I will see them done. So, this creature was apparently burdened with knowledge, because he says right here, for the sake of those who come after I tell the tale. I was not granted the blessing of death. He took that from me. And it's not exactly explained who he is, but given that all the other all the aforementioned talk of the creator, it is entirely possible that this was basically or the most logical interpretation of this is that this was a creature who was basically entrusted by the creator to gather knowledge and to continue imparting knowledge and carry it forward, and as such made immortal in order to keep on doing that forever. And said here, forced to shoulder an unwanted charge, made an instrument of his grand experiment. I cast off his gifts, no one being should be allowed to meddle in the workings of all things. So, whoever this was did not actually volunteer for this job that the creator gave them, and was actually very upset by it, and yeah, says here, I gaze into eternity, I was here before and I will be here long after. So that's what's making me think that this was not just an angel, because angels, they were created relatively early by the creator, but we do know that there were a bunch of races before them. So this was probably an old one who was given this task. And yeah, unfortunately we never find out who exactly it was, but I feel for this poor guy, because imagine not being able to die because some god decided, oh, you know what, you should be like the carrier of all knowledge for all eternity. That's gotta suck. Now, we already had the fortifier, and I think we also already looked at Fafnir. So, like I said, dragons actually do exist. Then we have Fortune, which is relatively nondescript. So, basically from what we can tell here, is that this was a warrior, or at least somebody who was like warrior adjacent, but more into actually mixing stuff and actually coming up with potions. The Marauder, as the name says, was basically, well, a marauder, somebody just looking for quick gains. And I do love this one blip here if you upgrade it to Demonic +2, where it says, it's not stealing if they're dead, right? And I don't know why, but after playing Genesis, this enhancement just, I think Strife is channeling whoever ended up providing their soul for this enhancement. And I think that's the ones we had. The one, oh no, the Shade enhancement is also a new one we gained. So yeah, the Shade enhancement is interesting because it is apparently from a creature who is neither angel nor demon, and usually invisible to most people. So it says right here, you can see me, then perhaps you are worthy. And if you go to the upgrades for this enhancement, it basically speaks of, I am the shadow, in shadow I am born, in darkness I will thrive. So this is some kind of creature that lives in the shadows and has control over shadows. So it would be very interesting to know what kind of creature it was that ended up in this enhancement. Anyway, like I said, we're here to upgrade some things. So we have already fully upgraded Chaos and Juggernaut, and now we're going to go for Shade.
What beautiful! I didn't think it was possible. Some of my best work. Oh, what beautiful havoc you'll wreak with that.
And Obscurus, if we can get it.
Didn't think it was possible. Didn't
Yes.
think it was possible.
Awesome.
But now, you're even deadlier.
And let's upgrade Enoch as well. We want the extra amount of Havoc bar generated per minute.
Didn't think it was possible. Didn't think it was possible. But now, you're even deadlier.
Alright, so that's going to be all the upgrading we can do for now.
Bests and blessings to you, Fury.
And now we can get back to the crossroads, which is where we are actually supposed to go for the story, but instead of following the story, we are going to go to Keepers of the Void. Alright, and Keepers of the Void, as the name says, is set in the Void, which is separate from all the other areas in the game. We did already go there in Darksiders Genesis, and now we're going to learn a little bit more about who actually lives in the Void, outside of Leviathans and Wicked K, basically. So, let's go over there.
Greetings.
And let me actually, before we go, one more thing. Now that we have a whole bunch of collectibles, we're going to keep exactly 17,000 because that's how many we will need to get by all the upgrades in the end. But everything else we can just put into level up.
Will be fun for both of us. As you wish.
Alright.
Please take your time.
There we go. Up into the Void. So, just to refresh everybody's memory, the reason we're going in here is because Volgrim said that the stone marauders have muscled in on the serpent holes, and they are trying to basically keep him out of the serpent holes so we can no longer use them, and can we please get rid of the stone marauders so everyone can have free use of the serpent holes again. And we are about to meet these stone marauders. Now, the way this dungeon works is the enemies do elemental damage, and in case of the bosses, if you are wearing the hollow of the specific void wing, you are going to do less damage, but you're also going to take less damage. And if you are using the opposite hollow, so if, for example, you are in this wing, the flame wing, and you are wearing the stasis hollow, you are going to take twice as much damage from the boss. So you really gotta be careful what you're doing here. And there's not much dialogue from Fury here, but there are...
I've never been witness to structures of stone floating so freely.
But this is one of the lines that she has here, and the interesting thing to note is, story-wise, if you have finished the fight against Pride, Fury will not actually be talking. You will only get her dialogue lines that she says during these dungeons if you actually come here before you fight Pride. Which, once we have fought Pride, will make complete sense. But yeah, the first time I went here, I had already defeated Pride. She didn't say anything, so I was very surprised when I got here the second time and Fury actually talked about this dungeon. Also, these are the stone marauders, and they like to laugh at you if you get hit too many times. They will actually laugh at you, bastards. And in this DLC, it's really worth it always checking the edges of the platforms, because quite often there is another platform just below yours where you can find some goodies. You can already see that's where the force wing is, so we're gonna have to come back to that. And this is basically just a series of dungeons. I do hope I will be able to get everything that's here, but it's been a while since I've played this DLC, so... Alright, let me see if we can just jump down here. Yes, awesome.
Death warned of such creatures, with the power to manipulate stone to their very will and take on a physical form.
So Death has encountered these before, and how very nice of him to warn his siblings about it. So for all that Fury is not agreeing with her brothers, for all that she does not care for them in the beginning, she does listen to them apparently. She does at least pay attention, so that's good. Alright, now let me see if I can get everything that's in this area. Some of these statues will come alive, others will not. So just always be on your guard when you're here. Alright. I think that's all for that side, and now we go left. So you can already see there's like a hollow space behind that, so we're gonna have to go there eventually. And as you can see, these orbs have different symbols around them. So most of the time you only need the hollow for that specific wing. But the reason why we didn't come here until we have all 4 hollows is that there are a few of these orbs where you're actually going to need more hollows than the wing would indicate. Like there is one orb here in the flame wing where we are actually going to need both flame and force. And this is why I said it's always worth just jumping down here and seeing where else you can go. So this, for example, needs flame and it needs storm. So let's get both of these. And there we go. Oh, fuck you. At least let me climb up. All right. So we're gonna make sure to go down here. And down the back. Oh, whoops. Oof, close. Now these guys are amazing because in the main game they only drop pieces of adamantine, but in New Game Plus they drop Oblivion ore, which you can use to upgrade your armors. And especially in New Game Plus 9, you really want to defeat all of these guys if you want to upgrade all of your armors, because every piece of Oblivion ore counts. Alright, I absolutely hate this area. I will try to get through it as quickly as I can. And we are going to start with these guys on the top, who are going to try to snipe us. I really recommend you do start with these guys, even though they may seem the weakest. But they can get you into so much trouble. So, just start with these. It's really going to help you. There we go. Oh shit, I forgot one.
I am your end.
Okay, come here, you bastard. Alright. And I think that should be everything, if I'm not entirely mistaken. So on we go. And I already dread what's coming next. Because I remember getting into so much trouble. Is there anything underneath there? No. Good. This is fine. Oh, here's our serpent hole. Nice. Let's activate that. Ah! Seriously? Alright, I think just one or two more platforms and we are going to get into the puzzle area of the DLC. Okay, everything in this room is going to try to kill us, so let's try to get through it as painlessly as we can. Get away there. No! Oh, I hate this camera locking onto the things that I don't want to log onto. Like, seriously. What the hell? There we go. And I think there's one more item down here. Yes. Awesome. Alright, now this room. This puzzle room. Jesus Christ. I agree that the main game has very few puzzles, and that's a shame. But I hate this puzzle room. Because I am the kind of person who has like zero sense of direction and horrible spatial memory. I hate Rubik's cubes, and this room is like a Rubik's cube with multiple Rubik's cubes, and I hate it. I hate it so much. Oh my god. Why? For the love of all that is good and holy. And of course, sometimes this magnet power of Furies gets stuck when you're on one of these blocks, which is always fun. So it's going to take us a while to get through this. Let's try that again. Okay, this time it actually worked. So this is what I mentioned. If we had tried to come here before we had the flame hollow, we would not have been able to do this. I wonder if we can just flame jump over there. Yes, we can. Okay, I hope I can remember the correct combination for which blocks to push and which not, because I hate this room so much. Okay. Because I do know there is one, yeah, here, where it is underneath the actual block. You have no idea how long it took me to find that one when I first played this DLC. I spent probably about 2.5 hours in this room alone. It was a real pain in the ass. So good job on Cindy from Gunfire Games to make a DLC that absolutely made me want to smash my controller. And we are about to get into the first boss battle. Now, I do like these boss battles for two simple reasons. Number one, they are significantly harder than the normal boss battles, which, depending on how well you do with the game's combat, can be a good thing or a bad thing. Personally, I think the final boss is just unbelievably hard and it's not even fun anymore. The second thing that I really like is that these boss battles are 4 of the only 5 instances of executions in the entire game, and one of the few instances where we see, I think actually the only instance where we see Fury use her telekinesis powers in combat. So, like I said, the bosses, if you have the hollow equipped that belongs with the hollow of that wing, you will do less damage to them. So we're gonna do these battles without hollows, so just in base form.
Your transgressions are costly. I have slain many of your brethren. If you wish to avoid the same fate, I suggest you talk. Why do you infest the serpent holes?
I love the ellipses.
I want answers now! Your silence is disrespectful. Time to teach you some manners.
Alright, so this is the easiest of the bosses. He has relatively predictable patterns. Aganosh, Keeper of the Flame. When he goes down like this, you want to make sure you get out of the way, at least 2 backflips and then some. Unless you want to get roasted right in the face. I do love the music in this part. back.
This ends now.
Ouch. And here we go. Love this execution. I wish we could have used some of that in the main game. Or in any capacity. I do hope that if we ever get to play Fury again, we'll be able to use her telekinesis powers. And yes, for the question in the chat, you do bonus damage on these guys if you use the hollow that's opposite to them. So if you use the stasis hollow on Aganosh, Keeper of the Flame, you will do more damage, but you will also take more damage. So it really depends on how good you are at dodging, if it's worth it. Anyway, Talents of Scorn. So we now have a second Flame Hollow weapon, which we could equip if we wanted to. Let me just level up a little bit because I completely forgot about that. And so the good news is we can now equip even more enhancements, which is awesome. Let's go with Fafnir. And down there where it says attuned to hollow, this basically means that if we switch to the flame hollow now, we can use these claws instead of the flail. Now I still prefer the flails, but the claws are not too bad. So we're going to switch that back, we're going to go back to the chains. And that's why you have that second item underneath your Wrath bar. Alright. And as for the question from the chat as to why War does not like riddles or puzzles, I think it's just that he's a very straightforward person. And it's not that he doesn't get puzzles or he doesn't get little hints and stuff like that. It's just he prefers straightforward communication and he hates having to go through a whole bunch of shit just to get to where he actually wants to go. The funny thing is, War is always called the impulsive or impatient one in the comics, but he's actually, as his siblings go, he's actually pretty damn chill in his own game, so it's kind of an informed attribute there. And now, obviously we already have all the hollows, so if we wanted to, we could just move on and go into the next wing, but the way this DLC was designed was that you get one of the hollows, you go in here, you do the wing, you get back to the main gameplay, and then once you get the next hollow, you talk to Vulgrim again. So you actually get some extra dialogue when you talk to Vulgrim again. So here we go.
The Storm Hollow. You never disappoint, Horseman.
I can't say the same for you, demon.
Your opinion of me will change in due time. The next passageway awaits your gentle touch.
Fury and gentle touch, okay. Here goes Vulgrim trying to flirt with us again.
What would you ask of this? Do make sure they scream, Horseman.
Alright. So off we go to the Storm Wing, which is probably my favorite. And this is where the game got really glitchy. If you had the incomplete version of the DLC, what we talked about in the beginning of the stream, this is where your game got really glitchy. Ow. Alright, let's move on. So I don't know why, but something about the way this specific area is structured, it's very logical and I like it. And you can do this area without salvation, but it's a lot easier if you do already have salvation, which is another good reason not to go into this DLC until you have all 4 hollows. Alright. Now, you can move this block to either go up on the left or on the right, but it doesn't really matter because we will get up onto the right anyway, so we're just gonna leave that alone. Just gonna charge this up with Storm, so we can actually go up. Anything over here? No. Okay, cool. Let's go. Now again, if you do not have salvation, you have to go back and you have to change the air currents in order to go up on the right. If you do have salvation, you can just do it long distance. There we go. Why are you there? Why do you guys keep on spawning? Jesus Christ. I just want to get one item. Good lord. Alright, now we're going to go up here. Get ourselves some sweet Oblivion ore. Well, not Oblivion ore in this case, because we are not yet in New Game Plus. But I think Adamantium is what he drops? Yes. And you can already see over there, that's going to be an extra enhancement. So the Stormwing and the Force Wing have extra enhancements in them, which we are going to get, and we are going to talk to Ulfane about, just to see what they actually are. And oh look, it's a Warden. A Storm Hollow Warden. Alright, there we go. Alright, and on we go to the next platform. Very predictable. I love this DLC, or this section of the DLC. At the very least. And here's our serpent hole for this section. Okay, now this room can be a bit of a bitch. You want to go through it strategically and try to get only 1 or 2 enemies at a time pissed at you, because otherwise this can end very badly. Come here. Thank you. Ouch. Alright, now we can activate this and immediately jump in here because we don't want to get comboed to death by all of these guys. I'm just gonna make my way around here and pick off each and every single one of these. Alright. Hello, there's another one. Alright, and up we go. Now we can get out of this room. And we are about to get our enhancement. Just gotta remember to climb all the way on the left over here. Ah shit. Should have switched to the Storm Hollow there. Okay, again. Oh, come on. There we go. So this is the Veneration enhancement. This one can only go onto the whip, and it increases your critical strike chance and damage. But since nobody in this game really knows what counts as a critical strike, I just prefer to have chaos on there, honestly. It's much more useful. Oh, shit. I think I'm gonna have to pop some health shards. Oh yeah, that sounds like a good time to use all of our small healing shards. Oh, shit! Fuck. Yikes. Okay, might actually need a Nephilim respite. Fuck. Okay, and I think this is another one of those wardens, isn't it? Yeah. These guys are such a pain on Apocalyptic, I swear to God. Ow! Whoa. Alright. Nothing over here? Nope. Okay. Alright, last section for the Stormwing. Just gonna jump down here. Quick item. And I should probably mention, even if we are going a little bit over the usual 2 hours, I am gonna finish this DLC today. Because I really want to get it done, especially the final boss. I don't want to have to wait for that. The final boss in this DLC is such a pain. I just want to get it out of the way. Alright. Now this puzzle room is actually, in my opinion, the most harmless one of them all. I actually had the least problems with this one, even when I was first playing it, so... do like this room actually. Alright, now just let me see. How did we get to that one again? Like this. Awesome. All right. And we're done with this room. So that was quick and painless. I like it. Oh, whoops. There we go. Now these big guys are not yet coming alive in this wing, but in the next one we are gonna have to fight them. And they're going to be a massive pain in the ass. Oh, come on, pick it up. Thank you. Alright, and off we go to the boss. Again, we are not using any of the hollows for the boss.
You don't belong here. I'm feeling benevolent. Leave the serpent holes or die where you stand.
Wow, so generous.
Die it is!
Oh my god, the lip sync is so painful in this part. the non-existent lip sync, I should say. That hurt to watch. Now, same with this guy, as soon as he slams both hands into the ground, you want to get out of his way.
This ends now.
Yep, let's get out of the way, thank you very much. Ouch, ouch, ouch! I forgot that he did that 3 times and not just once. Okay. And yeah, this would be so much worse if we did not have the shade enhancement. Because this all does arcane damage, which if you are a build like mine that's more geared towards strength and health, will just do so much damage to Fury if it hits you, so...
This ends now.
Ouch. There we go. And there we go, now we've got the pole arm. We're going to put the fortune enhancement on this. And I actually really like this weapon physically. It's kind of like a Naginata. Really love it. Alright, let's see, let's pick up this item, and now we can talk to Volgrim again.
The Force Hollow? You are a relentless horseman. It's quite impressive. Enchanting, even.
Keep your flattery to yourself, if you wish to keep your head.
Noted. Your duty to the Serpentine Path remains unfinished. Unlock the next chamber and make with the killing.
I think I'm gonna borrow that line for every single guy who tries to hit on me. Keep your flattery to yourself if you want to keep your head. Sounds about right. I approve of this, Fury. Okay, on we go. Now this is the wing where if you go in without the shade enhancement, things get really, really bad for you. Like if you're not very good at dodging and you don't have the shade enhancement, this is where things will really go to hell. Because everything in here hits super hard. Ow! Ouch, 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 ouch.
You will fall.
Alright. That should be everything. Oh shit. I just wanted to go for the small one. I didn't want all of you guys. Jesus. Back off. Alright, now this room we're going to have to come back to multiple times. We're going to take care of this area down here first because you don't want to accidentally land here completely unprepared. You want to go in here voluntarily, fully ready to fight these guys instead of just landing here on accident. Especially this guy. Come on. There we go. Unfortunately, these guys block a ton, so you really want to nail your dodges there. There we go. Alright, so we're going to need an orb. Let's keep moving. Did we already go? Oh no, that's where the orb's gonna be. Okay. Cool, cool. Oh, whoops. Nearly fell off a platform there. Alright, and here we go with the first one of these big guys. These guys have one attack that hits like a ton of bricks, so be very, very careful with these. Yeah, want to get away from this guy. And you want to get away from them when they die, because that attack also does quite a bit of damage. Now there's two ways to get to this item over there. If you want to go the somewhat complicated way, you can climb on top of this guy and then jump from there. Or you could just wait until you actually get into this area behind the block and then go from there. Whatever you want. Alright, let me see if I can get that right again. Oh, seriously? Come on, Fury. Ah! Why? I hate these magnet blocks. I hate them with a passion. Why are you doing this to me? Seriously? Not amused. Oh! Oh. Well, at least we didn't fall this time. Fine, I guess we'll do it this way. There we go. Oh, okay. I was about to say, are we really going to fall down there? Okay. Going to take care of all of these guys on this platform before we move on. And of course activate the serpent hole, so if we die we don't have to backtrack all the way. There we go. Either I'm completely mistaken or there used to be more stuff on this platform. I am very confused. Okay. Oh, item. Grab that. I kind of wonder, are these statues like dead marauders? Anyway, this area is such a massive pain in the ass. Well, let's try to get through it as easily as we can. Specifically, let's try not to wake up this big guy in the distance just yet. Okay, now we can actually go for him. Ah, shit. 3 of you guys? No, fuck you. Screw that. Okay. There we go. Much better. Alright, gonna get out of his way. Much better. Now, you really want to clear out each and every single one of these hallways, because you don't want to have to deal with these guys once you go back with the orb in your hand. Alright, there we go. One more time, let's go. Perfect. Alright, now I think we're supposed to go to the left, but I think to the right there's some items. If I'm not mistaken. Yes. Awesome. Anything up here? No. Okay. Alright. Let me see if I can actually manage to do all of this as I should. Yeah, there we go. Alright, go over here. And we are not going forward just yet because we want that second enhancement. Oh, no, 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 shit, that was too soon. There we go. Oh good, we get a warden and one of these. Even better. Ouch.
I am your end!
Ouch. Oh, this is gonna hurt. Ah. And I should probably put on the Force Hollow just to avoid a little bit of damage.
This ends now!
There we go. Alright. Whew. Well, that ended much better than I thought. Alright. Now, this is one of the most infuriating series of jumps in the entire game. Especially since there is a kill zone on the way back where sometimes when you jump back onto this platform you just die for whatever reasons. So that's fun. So you basically want to activate that over there. And you're gonna need to switch between Flame Hollow, to Force Hollow, and then immediately activate that Force Magnet power, which is a lot harder than it sounds. This is such an infuriating jump. Oh, and we did it. Thank God. The first time I did this, it took me like a dozen tries. So, thank goodness. Oof. And this is perdition, which is can only be socketed into our salvation. And let's see what it does. I think it increases the damage with salvation and the flight speed, yeah. So damage per luminous visage up to 100%. The damage is not that much of an issue, but the salvation flight speed, that's actually, that can really come in handy. And like I said, now we're probably going to get to the part where we are going to die. Not because we're doing anything wrong, but just because we jump onto this platform. No? Okay. Most of the time when I jump back onto this platform, I die. Don't ask me why. So, good that it didn't happen, so let's go. And I know I'm not referencing the chat very much, but I am watching your guys' conversation and I'm looking forward to all the fan art. Alright, off we go. And we should actually be getting very close to the end of this wing, if I'm not entirely mistaken. Alright, here's where all the guys are. Okay. Come on. Thank you. Oh, and we got our Havoc form back. That's good, because we are going to need that latest in the in the stasis wing. We are going to need that Havoc form. We are not jumping down there just yet. Alright, let's go. Alright, and here we are about to get to another instance of if you enter this DLC at the time when you're supposed to, you would not be able to access everything. So, as soon as we have defeated these two guys. Come on. There we go. this thing right here, which requires the stasis hollow. Alright, got that artifact, perfect. And I think we are almost about to get to the next puzzle room. Yep, there we go. This puzzle room, once you know where all the switches are, is incredibly easy. But there is one switch in here that is so very well hidden, it is utterly infuriating. I remember the first time I did this one, it took me probably another 2 hours just for this room. Oh, wait, not quite. Come back here. Now, this one. And then let me see if I can remember where the hell is that switch. There it is. So again, once you know about all of these, not very difficult, but yeah. Actually figuring out where all of these switches are is such a pain. Alright, there we go. All good. Whew. Alright. So now that we have moved all of these blocks, we can finally go into all these little nooks and crannies that are scattered throughout this place. And get all of the goodies. Oh, whoa! Nice ambush. 10 out of 10. And one last nook. Let's get this thing. Perfect. And I think that's it. Yes. Awesome. So we're about to get to another boss, and this is where the DLC bosses get really, really tough. So if you don't have the shade enhancement at this point, go back and get the shade enhancement. Really, do yourself a favor, do not go into this without some extra arcane damage reduction.
I'm here to restore order to the Serpent Holes. Any last words? I didn't think so.
At this point you might start thinking, do these guys even talk? Like, are they even capable of speech? And the answer is yes. Stone Marauders, or whatever they themselves call themselves, can talk. They just choose not to in this case. Okay, let's get away, let's get away, let's get away. Perfect. Ow. Ouch. Yeah, I hate this shockwave. Such a massive pain.
You will fall.
Ow. Oh, ouch. Ow, 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 that hurt. There we go. Alright, so now we have an axe in addition to a warhammer. I almost never use the Force Hollow, so doesn't really make a difference. Oh, and I just realized there's a double space in that description. Now I will not be able to unsee that. Awesome. Okay, what do we put on here? We could actually put... We can put the Salvation enhancement on there. And then we can put Obscurus on here. Alright, and I wanted to actually show you guys what this axe looks like. So, there we go. That's Fury and her shining amazing axe. And it's somehow still more proportionate than the weapons in Darksiders 2, which is kind of impressive. And one last conversation with Volgrim, and then we're going to do the Stasis Wing and the final boss for this DLC, and then that's going to be it for this week, because we're actually already over time, but I do want to finish this DLC.
are tearing through these invaders like a plague. Nothing will stand in your way.
Including you, demon.
Oh, I am fully aware, Horseman. The Stasis Hollow has opened a new entryway. You'd be wise to explore it, for both our sakes. What would you ask of this humble farewell for now?
Actually, can I already sell some stuff? Because I think I was like 5,000 points away from a level up if I'm... No! Did I just sell my 10,000? Oh shit. I just sold my 10,000 souls cash. Fuck. Oh well. More careful next time.
Goody, this will be fun for both of us. As you wish. Do make sure they scream, Horseman.
Alright, on to the last wing. I do like almost everything in the stasis wing except for the final boss. The final boss can go and fuck himself. Seriously. Oh, ow. Whoa. Alright, there we go. Much better. Alright, let's move on. I think there should be another red marauder spawning over here somewhere. Yep, there we go. And dear God, we have a fully upgraded whip, but we're still only doing so little damage on normal difficulty. So you guys can imagine how much this sucks if you go in here with a not so much upgraded weapon on Apocalyptic. It is a massive pain. Alright, anything over here? Nope. Okay. Alright, there we go. And I do actually like this puzzle room, so... This is the tamest room of this entire section. There's going to be one later that's going to be much, much worse. Now this area sucks because you just have a whole lot of enemies looking to fight you, including one of the big guys. And the big guys in the stasis wing can actually also create a shield for themselves. So they are even worse to defeat in this section, which sucks. Oh shit. I'm gonna get this small guy first because otherwise he's just going to snipe me all the time. Oh, let's get away from him. Thank you. Alright, perfect. Oof. Oh, come here. Same for this room, you want to proceed carefully and ideally get these guys one at a time. There we go. That was alright.
This ends now!
Alright. Oh. Whoops. Missed one. Okay. Come here. And here's our last serpent hole for this DLC, which we will hopefully not need. This section, I love it. Yeah, definitely take care of these guys before you go into the main room. Because you do not want to fight all of these guys plus the warden at the same time. Not a good idea. Alright, now we can actually take care of him.
You will fall.
Alright, perfect. Now we can finally get this orb, and there's actually 2 sections that we have to go through, so I don't think it matters much which one you start with. We're just going to try. Fun fact about this wing, every wing is supposed to have 2 angelic and 2 demonic artifacts, but in this wing they decided to replace one of them with a luminous visage. Which was very, very confusing when we first played this, because there were several members on the Discord who were actually trying to find the last demonic artifact, and we just couldn't find it, and it was really frustrating. Okay, so we do actually have to go to the other side first. Okay. Fine, we'll do that. Ah no, fuck. Wrong orb. Sorry. Come on. Fury, don't be like this. Thank you. There we go. Much better. Oh, come on. Let's get over there. Alright, now we should be able to actually do what we wanted to do. One, two. Climb on here. Yep, there it is. Perfect. And if you thought that this was the cube puzzle room for this DLC, you are mistaken. There's going to be another one, because this section has to have 2 puzzle rooms. Amazing. All right. Alright, and back we go. As for the question from the chat, which horseman most likes puzzles and why? Well, we know War probably likes them least. Fury seems to be pretty chill about them, but also has a relatively short fuse, so I think War and Fury are definitely on the lower end. Death probably enjoys puzzles, including mazes. And Strife, we know that he doesn't mind puzzles, but he hates mazes. So I would say in terms of who likes them least to who likes them most, it's probably War, Fury, Strife, and Death. Okay, now this area. You want to be super careful in this area. I recommend actually equipping the Storm Hollow and just gliding over, straight over. Do not jump down right in front of here, because there is a big dude and a warden right beneath us. And if we just jump down here, we're just going to activate all of the enemies. So we're just going to glide over here, switch, and now try to take them out one at a time or two at a time, if we can. Which is going to make our lives so much easier. Alright. Come on. There we go. Perfect. Yeah, let's take care of you as well before we head into the lion's den. And I think I'm actually going to equip Fury's Ice Shield for this, because yikes, this is going to suck.
Too slow.
Because both of these guys hit pretty hard, and if we get hit here, I want to have at least a bit of a shield between me and them. So. Oh, let me get out of the way. Thank you. Okay. That went rather well. Ouch. Oof. Yikes. Alright, but we're not done with the fun, because these guys over there are also very, very annoying, especially because they like to snipe you while you're trying to jump to them. Which is always a lot of fun. There we go. Actually, I think I might get over there with Storm. Probably easier. Now this is our final cube room for this DLC, basically. And oh boy, does this room suck. Not looking forward to doing this again. This room, hilariously, I once managed to get myself killed by one of these cubes. Because if you stand in the wrong spot while they slide into place, the cube will just slide straight into you and kill you. Which sounds absolutely hilarious, and it was for all of a minute, and then I realized that my death meant that all the enemies had reset and I was no longer amused. Yeah, so basically when you activate it from here and this cube slides over, if you don't jump at the right time, this cube can kill you. Fun times. I am not Irish, as for the question from the chat. I am originally German. I was born and raised in Germany. I spent 2 years in Canada, and I have been living in Ireland for 4 or 5 years now. So my accent is all over the place. Okay, this is probably the most annoying force magnet jump in the history of force magnet jumps. Hopefully this will work. There we go. Okay, now please just let me go around the corner. Yes, thank you. So yes, I do like to play the Guess My Accent game with people a lot. Because I've heard all different versions. Most people end up just saying somewhere vaguely European and then they just give up. Okay. Let's see. So we need to move this one. And then I think we also need to move one down here. Yes. Awesome. And as for question from the chat, what people guess the most when they hear my accent honestly depends on where I am. Oops. While I was in Canada, everybody assumed that I was British. And when I went to Ireland, everybody assumed that I was Canadian, and now nobody knows. Nobody knows anymore. Like I said, most of the time they just, the most they can say is vaguely European, and that's it. Vaguely Western Central European. Okay, cool, let's see. Which one does that move again? Okay, that one. That might already be the ones that I need. Let me try that. No. Dum 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 dum. Okay, I think I know where I need to go. I hope I know where I need to go. Because, frankly, I hate this room, and if I run around like a headless chicken here for a few minutes, it will not be a surprise for me. No. No? Maybe? Yes? No? Oh. I can't just jump over here, can I? No, I can't. That's what I thought. Alright, one more time, because it was so much fun. God damn it. I'm pretty damn sure I actually have to go up that way, but... So no, that's definitely not the right one. That definitely needs to go like this, and like this. I'm sorry this is taking so long, guys, but like I said, I haven't played this DLC in a while, so... Not as on point with my jumping anymore as I used to be. There we go, finally. Whew. Okay. Alright. Whoa. Did my orb just disappear? Seriously? Seriously? Gotta be kidding me. Come here, you stupid disappearing orb. Don't do that to me again, please. Thank you. Very bad orb. But I love how she's jumping between those pillars. The ice climb always makes me it always reminds me of like how deer jump across the landscape if you've ever actually like seen like how deer move horizontally, that's how Fury moves vertically when she's jumping from those ice walls. And here we go with the final boss for the Ice Wing. This guy is such a massive pain in the ass. This dude and the final boss are just insanely powerful and do so much damage.
You're a monster of few words, aren't you? Splendid. We can skip the pleasantries and go straight to the reckoning!
The worst part is if if this guy hits you while you have the ice shield on, he will actually heal himself. So you can't even use the stasis shield to absorb damage from his attacks.
You will fall.
I hate this guy so much. Ow, 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 ow. And I never get the timing of his attacks right, that's the other thing. He also will, in the second half of the fight, he will develop the ability to just plant mines into the ground, which he can explode at any time. So this dude is such a pain in the ass, so yeah. That's exactly what I meant. I hate him so much. So that mine can stay there for as long as he wants, pretty much until he stomps his feet. And then you have to time the dodges not only for his stomp, but also for for the mines, which sucks even more. Ow, 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 ow. Don't make me pop a fortification shard, please.
This ends now.
And remember, we are on normal difficulty. Can you imagine how much of a pain this guy is on Apocalyptic, or God help you, on Reckoning? First time I fought this guy, I died so many times. There we go. Finally. Alright, so now we get a pair of scythes. Which, it's nice to know that now at least not everybody is only just copying Strife's guns or having Strife's guns. We can also have scythes, like Death. Double scythes even. So let me put those on. And there we go. Now we can talk to Volgrim and get to the final boss. And that's where things are really going to go downhill. Also, I'm gonna buy two...
The Four Hollows? Oh my! Now we have all it takes to cleanse the serpent holes!
I have. There is no we in I.
Is that a saying?
It is now. Just like if Volgrim is lying about the serpent holes, I'll wear his hide.
Oh, we are becoming fast friends, aren't we? Let's skip to the final wave of slaughter, clearing the serpent holes and filling your pockets with booty! Or justice, whatever cracks your whip.
Please don't ever change, Fury. At least not when it comes to Volgrim. Alright, so we are definitely going to buy 2 health lurchers from him. Because we are going to need all the health lurchers in the world to fight this next boss battle. And we are also going to already switch over to the fortification shards, because basically what we're going to do is we're going to pop a fortification shard, and for the last quarter of that battle we are going to use Havoc form, because I'm not doing this to myself the legit way. Fingers crossed, guys. Fingers crossed. could use an undying shot as well, but they are super rare and super valuable, so I like to save them. Fortification shot is usually enough if you're playing on the lower difficulties. If you're going for apocalyptic, you might want to use an undying shot.
You have invaded the wrong realm. For that, you will pay.
So yeah, that's all the guys that we've already defeated. Merging into like a final super guy, like something out of Captain Planet.
The horseman is mistaken.
Surprise, surprise. It speaks.
It is she who is ravaging our dominion.
Your deception is unbecoming.
We are the gatekeepers of the Serpent Holes. Sadly, the horseman is blind to the deceit by a demon of greed.
Vulgrim?
The notorious aggressor overstayed his welcome and was exiled from the realm.
That slimy bastard.
She before me won't be so lucky. She has caused too much suffering. The horseman is the one who must pay with her life.
I understand. Bring your worst.
So yeah, Vulgrim lied to us, surprise! These guys were actually the good guys all along, and we should have just slain them and taken the Serpent Hole for ourselves. Like, oh, I hate this stomp so much. This stomp does so much damage on the Force Stomp. Does so much damage on Apocalyptic, it is ridiculous. So yeah, so these guys can actually speak, they are actually the good guys, and I do love how Fury did not try to talk her way out of this. She was just like, okay, yeah, I accept I screwed up, so if you do want to fight me, let's fight. Okay, now it's time to pop a fortification shot, because from here on out, everything just hurts. Oh shit, that was the Force Stomp. When this game first came out, the Force Stomp was way overpowered, like it actually did more damage than the developers intended, and it really could one-hit kill you even if you had your armor fully upgraded and stuff like that. So it was really a massive pain. Oh, ow! Okay, I think we've gotten to the part of the fight where the game just completely hates my guts. And we are soon going to run out of our fortification shard, so I think I'm about to switch into Havoc form. Yeah, let's do that. Oh, I've never actually gotten to that piece of the music. Or at least I never paid attention to it. Nice. Please let me live long enough to actually whoop his ass. Oh no, I think we're gonna run out of Havoc form. Shit. Okay. don't let me die. Oh, thank God. Whew. So, we get some Wicked Adamantine. You can get this 3 ways. Either you can defeat the bosses in Keepers of the Void. If you play the Keepers of the Void in subsequent New Game Plus, you will get Wicked Adamantine instead of the special weapons, so you can get up to 5 Wicked Adamantine per playthrough. You can get it from Wicked K at the end of the Crucible, or you can buy it from Volgrim in New Game Plus. Really, just buy it from Volgrim in New Game Plus. It is so much easier than everything else. So there we go. I'm sorry, Ono. I'm gonna go and kick Volgrim's ass for you, okay? Poor guy. Alright, one final conversation with Volgrim.
Oh, mighty horseman! Justice has been restored to the Serpent Holes.
Give me one good reason why I should not end your life. An entire species is extinct because of your greed and treachery.
Their blood is on your hands, not mine.
A little more bloodshed wouldn't hurt then, now would it?
Killing me would be short-sighted. You have yet to receive your tastiest reward.
Retribution is the only reward I seek, Volgrim. Perhaps your hide for a throw rug.
Delightful as that sounds, perhaps something more useful would satisfy. Something like free use of the Serpent Holes for you and your kin from now until eternity.
That is the very least that you could offer, fiend. Try again.
Oh, all right, fine. You really are quite convincing when you want to be, Fury. There is another item that might interest you. I don't part with it easily, but...
Is that abyssal armor?
more than fair compensation for your good work, no? Come on, what's done is done. Make a trade. I keep my life and get on with business as usual. You receive the abyssal armor and continue your horsemanship in style.
Hand it over and leave my sight before I change my mind, demon.
What a valuable relationship we have, Fury.
I said, be gone, you snake!